welcome to yet another UCL Fantasy video. And I have to say, before going into this, thank you to everyone who's been watching the live streams and engaging in the discussion. And I have to say, it was very, very enjoyable. Both of them went very well. And when Champions League is on, I'll be doing a UCL Fantasy live stream from 4 p.m. onwards on the Tuesday. And then with FPL, I'll be doing it 1 hour before the deadline. So it looks like for the next 2 game weeks, in that case, it will be on the Friday around 5:30. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to be analysing my UCL Fantasy team and how it did for Matchday 4 and the plans for Matchday 5. This is going to be the preview for that. And yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow in the live stream. Hopefully that goes smoothly as well. But got 266 points at the moment. Not a great start, if I'm being honest. Matchday 2 was obviously very good because I played the Limitless wildcard, or yeah, just the Limitless chip. But apart from that, very, very average. Matchday 4 was my second best week, but I did take a -8, and one of the -4s was for Ferran Torres, and he ended up not even playing. It was a big, big shame. And to be honest, like, that was the risk when I got him in. I actually got him in during the live stream. And I already made the Thomas Meunier transfer before that, and I was really confident in Meunier, and he did get me the points. And I shouldn't have got rid of him anyway. I don't know why I did, but I rectified that mistake. And in hindsight, obviously, I would have just taken, apart from making the early transfers in the first place, I would have taken the -4 for Meunier and not gotten in Torres, and then replaced Fati this week with someone else. And to be honest, Rashford was another one I was considering, and he ended up getting 8 points because Bruno gave him the penalty. And yeah, obviously that would have been much better than having Ferran Torres, who I decided to keep on the bench because Man City had an early kickoff. And in the end, of course, yeah, he didn't even play, unfortunately. But yeah, what can you do? But looking forward for this team, there are a few weaknesses that I want to address. But Mendy in goal, very disappointing that he conceded quite late on. And you know what? It was going to be impossible for him to keep a clean sheet every single game. The last time I remember that happening in the Champions League was 2006 with Arsenal, who were just so good defensively back then. But you know what? Sevilla next, not really expecting too much, and then Krasnodar. That's when you would expect Mendy to keep a clean sheet, but still happy with him. He's a good acquisition. I have got Lodi. Got the points, and I was expecting this fixture. If Atletico were ever to keep a clean sheet in the Champions League, it would be in this one. Unfortunately, they play one of the best attacking teams in the world next week in Bayern Munich, so that's a big, big shame. And then after that, they do have Salzburg away, where I probably don't expect a clean sheet from Atletico, but you never know. You never know. But Lodi is one of the weaknesses I have identified. And as you can see through every single preview I've made, the way I kind of judge transfers is pretty much I look at the team, and then if I see a weakness, I try to get rid of it. And then I look at the best replacements in that position. And it's not necessarily a bad strategy or a great strategy. It depends on, if you are the type of guy to pretty much identify those you want, and then you'll kind of just make way for them regardless. But this season hasn't been going too great for me anyway. But I always do this kind of strategy in every single game. But sometimes I'm aggressive, as you can see with the Bruno Fernandes transfer in FPL. But yeah, Lodi is definitely one of the weaknesses. Pavard did get points yet again, so only 1 blank from 4, so pretty happy with him. Does have Atletico next away from home, and not really expecting too much, but I'm not going to be taking hits, or I'm going to try to avoid them. And I'm leaving transfers until the final day, as I always do, except for that one time last week or during the international break. And I don't know why I did it. I still don't. But yeah, Pavard will probably be staying. Meunier definitely staying. I learnt my lesson after getting rid of him, and then he got the 10-pointer. And once again, he delivers, like I said. Very happy with him. And Lazio's a tough team. I wouldn't really be expecting, a clean sheet per se, but Thomas Meunier is a quality player. Dortmund are looking pretty good. So I know they did lose at home to Cologne at the weekend, so that is a bit worrying. But in the Champions League, they have been pretty solid. Koundé did get the points. But yeah, once again, conceding to Krasnodar, where you would think Sevilla would keep clean sheets. But yeah, not necessarily, but got the 4 points. Unfortunately, because I did make the substitutions on the Wednesday, I did take off Danilo, and I missed out on his 4-pointer, I guess. But once again, Juventus were struggling to this Hungarian team, Ferencváros, and they were actually losing, and they had to score a last-minute winner through Morata. And Danilo actually played centre-back. This is very interesting because Cuadrado was playing at right-back. And like I said, Alexandro returning means Danilo won't be playing left-back. But Pirlo seems to love this guy. He's playing him at centre-back. I don't know why, to be honest. That's a good thing for those who own him. But ideally, you would want him, in the full-back position. But at least he's playing rather than not. But obviously, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't get him in, even though those fixtures were very good. And unfortunately, Juventus didn't really deliver. Casemiro, he came on as a substitute, so very disappointing. But you know what? At least he ended up getting 2 points rather than the 0, because I did sub him in, and I didn't find out obviously if he started or not until 7 o'clock, and that was after the deadline. At least he got the points. Wilmar Barrios got 1 point in the end. Very disappointing, but he is 4.5 million, and he actually conceded a penalty. Look at that. I didn't even know that. Got the yellow card as well. Did recover the ball a lot, but not too good. And he actually missed out on the 2 points just by a minute anyway for playing. So yeah, that's a bit mad. Diego Jota, I mean, to be honest, a lot of disappointments all round this week. I will obviously highlight the good things. It's not all doom and gloom, but Diego Jota, I mean, you look at him in the weekend against Brighton, this guy is just so sharp, and I thought he'd start, and he didn't. And hopefully against Ajax he plays, he starts. Same with Salah. But the thing that kind of worries me is that Jota played the full 90 minutes against Brighton, and I don't know, he might get rested, because Klopp's policy at the moment seems to be kind of rotating a bit from one of the forwards. So maybe Firmino will make way at one point, Mane like he did at the weekend, Salah could make way at times, and Jota kind of fills in for every single one of them at times. And then when the original front three play, Jota's the one on the bench. So it is a bit worrying, but I would expect him to start, but I just couldn't tell you for sure. And for Salah, the good news in his case is that he got substituted very early in the Brighton game, in the 60th minute for Mane. So that is pretty good news, and I would expect him to start. And because of the loss to Atalanta, I'm trying to look at the bright side here, they really have to win this game against Ajax to secure qualification. So they are going to put their big guns in this game. I'm pretty sure of it. I know they have a tough game at the weekend against Wolves, but I'm pretty sure they're going to put a very strong lineup against Ajax. So that's the good thing about it. I would expect Salah to start. With Jota, same thing, but I'm not as sure because of how the Brighton game panned out. And as for Ferran Torres, like I said, very disappointing. Didn't even play. And he actually started at the weekend against Burnley, and he even got his goal, but just very disappointing. And I might actually get rid of him. He's another weakness, so to speak, and I know he might do well in the next two, but I want people who are guaranteed starts, really. So it's really difficult with Champions League because there's a lot of rotation. There's other competitions to think about as well. And with the league, you're kind of more sure about who's going to play. With Champions League, it's a bit of a lottery at times, especially when the manager is Pep Guardiola. And as for Trubin, he didn't even play. I know he's just the keeper, but more and more I just regret this transfer. The idea was originally to have a backup keeper at 4.5 million who plays and who could sometimes maybe get me some points. Didn't even start in the last game, and Shakhtar once again got annihilated. Wow. I did not expect that, obviously, before match day 3 for Borussia Mönchengladbach to completely rip them apart. But there you go. That's what happened. And looking at my forward line, this is the good news, and this is where the crux of my points came from, apart from the likes of Pavard, Meunier and Lodi. Lewandowski with 6 points, once again firing. Not at the heights of last season in the Champions League anyway, but he's scoring every single game. He scored yet again at the weekend, and very happy with Lewandowski. And finally, this guy started and he got an assist. Unfortunately, didn't get a goal, didn't get more points, but, he did the business. And for 5 million, you know what, very happy with that. You wouldn't expect double-digit returns every week, but that was the game for him to get points, and he did. Unfortunately, not as much as you would hope, but he at least got something from it. Liverpool and Atalanta next, not easy at all, but you never know with Lucina Traore. You never know. And what can we say about this guy? I know he didn't score at the weekend, but Haaland is just a beast, and that's back-to-back double-digit returns against Club Brugge. And I highlighted him as a captaincy option from even match day 2, talking about match day 4. And yeah, Erling Haaland, I know a lot of you during the live stream were asking me, should I captain him or Ronaldo, him or Lewandowski? And my main answer was Haaland, so I'm happy to have gotten that right at least. But yeah, this guy is just very reliable. Hopefully he continues his form. He's already got more Champions League goals than R9. The Brazilian Ronaldo. I mean, wow, absolutely unbelievable. This guy is an incredible young talent, arguably the best young talent in the world. And yeah, that concludes my team for matchday 4. It was pretty good on the whole, but like I said, there are a few problems. I got a bit excited there. A few problems with this team, which kind of prevent me from getting the 80 plus points every single week, which would obviously propel me up the ranks. And the fact that people like Casemiro and Jota just come off the bench, that really did ruin things. And obviously Ferran Torres getting benched, because this 65 pointer you see here could have easily been 80 plus yet again, just like matchday 3. Unfortunately, just wasn't meant to be. Hopefully matchday 5 is even better. At least there was an improvement from the first matchday and matchday 3. And looking at my transfer plans, they're quite simple, really. Ferran Torres and, I nearly forgot him already, Lodi are the main weaknesses. Now, Lodi, I know he just got 7 points, but he's playing Bayern Munich. It's very, very unlikely that Atletico Madrid do keep a clean sheet. And why do I have Christian Romero? Well, if I'm being honest, it's mainly for that Michelin fixture. And he actually missed the game against Liverpool where they lost 5-0. And as soon as he comes back, they get a 2-0 win at Anfield. And that is no, mean feat. Like, that is a very impressive achievement to keep a clean sheet at Anfield and beat them. If you look at the league, for example, they haven't lost in like 70 plus games, so spanning across 3 years or so. So Christian Romero could be in. In terms of other alternatives, because I don't want to just, have one option and then not kind of think about anyone else. In terms of other options, there is Angelino. I know that most of his points came in the first fixture, but guess who it came against? It came against Istanbul Başakşehir. So maybe he can repeat that again. Maybe not 19 points, but he can get some good totals there. Apart from that, obviously Christian Romero, I could have Robertson. The only problem with getting someone like Robertson is I would have less money to invest in the midfield. So someone like Rashford that you can see here, who I'll be discussing shortly, I wouldn't be able to get him. Akanji looks like a great differential. He's only selected by 1%, and look at that. Every single time he has played, he's pretty much been doing the business, and I think that's a clean sheet every single time. Yeah, fantastic from him. But yeah, apart from that, not really thinking of anyone else. But yeah, those are the main options I've highlighted. So Robertson, Akanji, Angelino, and Christian Romero. This guy, by the way, Porto have been going under the radar, and even including from myself, that's 3 clean sheets on the bounce. The only problem now is they face Manchester City. But after that, Olympiacos away, they could do something there as well. But this guy, Sanusi, pretty decent to be fair. Apart from that, not really too confident looking at this list. Guerrero, I know a lot of you have had him, but he's 6 million. I've already got Meunier. I'd rather have Akanji or even Hummels in defence to pair with Thomas Meunier. Apart from that, not really too keen on anyone else here. There's no one else. So those defenders that I mentioned, let me know who should I pick between those options. And then in terms of the midfield, to replace Ferran Torres potentially is Marcus Rashford. And like I said, he was the option. It was him or Ferran Torres before I ended up going with Torres, which was a mistake, of course. But yeah, this guy just keeps producing in the Champions League. I know he only scored a penalty, but he's still getting the points. He's the top scoring midfielder in the whole game, I think. So let's look at all the midfielders. Yeah, Rashford's top. Koeman's another one. He tends to do better in the home games, should I say. He's gotten 28 points in those 2 home games, but he's got Atletico away next. But then again, the 16 pointer did come against Atletico, so who knows. Then there's Stindl. I know he's been doing very well, and that's back-to-back big hauls against Shakhtar Donetsk. And to be honest, you would look at the Inter fixture, and you'd be like, oh, you know what? It's a really tough fixture, and Real Madrid as well, but they've been poor. Both of them have been very poor in the Champions League, and Borussia Mönchengladbach are top of the group. So you know what? Stindl could be a good option. So yeah, between Rashford, Koeman, Stindl, I would say, even Bruno Fernandes. And I really didn't consider him, to be honest, for getting him in my team, because I was actually priced out of getting him and Thomas Meunier at the time. But because of the price rises that I keep talking about after the start of each match day, I actually can afford him now. I could actually get Bruno Fernandes in, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I'd have 5 million left over. That would obviously kind of price me out of the likes of Akanji and stuff, but I could get Christian Romero in. So yeah, it could be Bruno Fernandes and Christian Romero. The only problem with Bruno is, I don't know, I think they've already qualified, or are about to, and Man United could play Van der Beek, they could play Pogba. They have so many midfielders, McTominay, Fred. I know obviously with Bruno, he's only really competing with Van der Beek. But I don't know, like PSG's a tough fixture as well, and then Leipzig away, very tough. But Bruno Fernandes is a quality player. I'm happy to have gotten him in FPL, and I'll be discussing that obviously in the FPL video. But yeah, he remains an option nonetheless. One of the Manchester United players basically, or Coman or Stindl. Apart from that, not too confident in any of the others. I know Cuadrado got 2 assists, but yeah, I'm not too keen on him. He is playing right back. And then there's Rakitic. He's been going under the radar, but I'm not really considering him, to be honest. And he's got Chelsea next. Hopefully he does well, but yeah, not too confident really. So yeah, those are the options in midfield. Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Coman or Stindl to replace Ferran Torres. If not, should I keep Ferran Torres and give him a chance? But I have to say that's probably the worst transfer I have made this season in any fantasy game. But yeah, the plan at the moment is to get Christian Romero and then either Rashford or Bruno. But like I said, I gave you the options. And in terms of the rest of the team, I obviously would ideally want to get rid of Trubin. But I don't want to take a hit for a keeper, especially when I already have Mendy, and I'm not too bothered anyway. I'm not too confident in any keepers around 5 million or 4 million or 4.5 million who could really, get the clean sheet points anyway. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. Replace Renan Lodi and replace Ferran Torres, and my team would be looking pretty good overall. So this is how my team is looking right now anyway, without the transfers. And I've already sorted out the bench depending on obviously the Wednesday. Remember, always bench the Wednesday players, never bench a Tuesday player. Obviously you're going to miss out on points that way. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's going right now. And in terms of captaincy, this is the really important thing. At the moment, I do have it on Salah. I know Ajax are a good team, but Liverpool are going to be hungry. Salah's going to be hungry. Jota's another good captaincy option, I guess. Whilst recording this video, it has come to my attention that Lewandowski is one of 3 key Bayern Munich players who are going to be rested during the midweek game against Atletico Madrid. Hansi Flick confirmed in his press conference that they will not travel at all. So Lewandowski, Goretzka and Neuer. So if you have any of them, it's probably time to get rid of them. It's a tough fixture anyway, but if they're not going to play, especially for someone like Lewandowski who's 12 million, you really want to get someone else. So I'm looking at the options here, and to be honest, there's a bit of a change of plans, and I might actually have to keep one of Lodi or Ferran Torres in the end, and instead I'm going to be solving this issue of Lewandowski. And if I look at the available players, Timo Werner I'm not too interested in, to be honest. He's got a tough fixture anyway. I know his form overall is good, despite not scoring against Tottenham, but I'm not interested in Timo Werner. Morata I think could be a great option, but then again, with Lewandowski, you could literally move to any striker you want. So I'm actually really interested in Zapata with that Midtjylland fixture in mind. So you know what? I think Zapata for me is going to be the standout replacement. But for those of you who already have him or who are not too keen on him, there's of course Lionel Messi, who should be playing against Ferran Cravaros, and he looked sharp the other day with his tribute to Diego Maradona. And yeah, there's also Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. I know Martial has been good in the Champions League this season, but I wouldn't go near him. So the way I'm looking at it, Immobile is another good one. I know some of you have suggested him or asked me about him, and when he has played, he's done very well. So you know what? In terms of the options for replacing Lewandowski, in my case, I think the standout for me is Zapata. And if not, I'm actually considering the likes of Messi, Ronaldo and Immobile. And that's how I'm going to be looking at it. Morata is also another one. But yeah, the key ones are Zapata, Messi or Ronaldo. And for you lot, let me know who you think is the best replacement for Lewandowski. I just think that the fixture against Midtjylland is too good to turn down, and then there's Ajax afterwards. So yeah, I think Duvan Zapata could be a very, very good choice. So you know what, I'm very interested in having Zapata. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's how I think I'm going to look. And in terms of the other choices, I mean, it really depends. If I do get Zapata in, that probably gives me a bit more, it gives me more flexibility with my midfield. I could get Kevin De Bruyne. I could easily get Bruno Fernandes in, and even take the -4 for, let's say, I don't know, for Renan Lodi and get Robertson if I wanted to. So that's the good thing about Lewandowski, you know, missing out, is having someone like Zapata in who has a great fixture, and I just back Zapata to do very well. I know he hasn't done well in the last 2 games, but he got a 13-point haul against Midtjylland earlier this season, and I think he can do the same thing yet again. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Lewandowski situation. Let me know what you think, like I said. And yeah, the news literally came as I was recording, so you know what? It is what it is, and that's the thing with Champions League this season. There's going to be even more people being rested because of, you know, the situation we're in, and the season, the type of season we're having, with the lack of preseason overall. And I'm not too surprised. And Champions League's always unpredictable. It's even more unpredictable this season. With Salah, I think there's a higher ceiling. But yeah, if Salah captaincy fails, or whoever I captain on the Tuesday fails, I will end up going with, you know, the most reliable guy probably in the history of this game, Erling Haaland. That's pretty much how I'm keeping it. But let me know your teams, and let me know any problems you have, any comments you want to make about my team, any suggestions you have, especially for those 2 transfers that I have planned. Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and like I said, the plan is to do a live stream tomorrow on the Tuesday around 4 p.m. So check that out, and I'll be discussing everything live with all of you. And the same thing for FPL. I'll be releasing a preview, obviously, for Game Week 11 anyways, but I'll also be doing a live stream on the Friday, and I'll be talking to all of you live and answering every single question or comment that you have. But thank you for watching this video, and yeah, the aim is to get to 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of the support, and I'll see you next time.